Neil and Pol, guys, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for being on. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, good. I'm so excited to share your story. You guys are two unique individuals in your own respect. So why don't we just get right into it? Give me a quick brief about yourself, how you kind of got in the NFT world, and we can kind of go from there. We can start with Neil and then go to Pol.
Well, I'm Neil Harbisson, and I'm a cyborg artist. So my art is to create new senses, new organs, and implant them in the body. Like this antenna is an example. Is an antenna that allows me to extend my perception of color beyond the visual spectrum. So it's an antenna that allows me to sense from infrareds to ultraviolets through vibrations in my head.
And I'm Pol Lombarte, and I create an NFT that gives access to my heartbeats in real time.
Awesome. You guys are the first people that I came across to introduce like a biohacking element to an NFT drop, right? What prompted you, I guess, well, even before we even get to that, can you talk to me more about the relationship between you guys? Like, how did you guys meet? How did this collaboration come to life? Share with me a little bit about that.
Well, Paul is an art student, and we both live in Barcelona, and we were both interested in NFTs, but we were interested in creating a type of NFT related to cyborg art. So we thought that the best way to mix both arts, crypto art and cyborg art, would be to create an NFT that connected the owner of the NFT to our bodies. So that's why we came up with we wanted to explore the union between these two arts.
Yeah, and I guess the relationship, I know Pol, you mentioned, is an art student, and you guys met at the art school that he was studying at, or how did you guys kind of come in contact with each other?
In the street, no?
Yeah, in the street.
Just like that?
I was walking in the street and I see Neil. And
well, because my antenna sometimes I meet people because of the antenna. So I guess we met because of the antenna. And then he was interested in creating his own organ, cyborg organ. So he started a project creating this heart, a digital heart, a second heart. And then while he was creating it, we thought it would be good to mix both things, NFTs and this type of art. But his actual project is to create works of art with the digitalization of his heartbeats. So it's like how he can use his heartbeats to create other artworks.
Got you.
Like he's creating a clock that keeps going forward depending on his heartbeats. So that's if his heart goes fast, the clock goes faster. So, and then he's also creating is it a light that works with his heartbeat? So he's working with his heart, and then time and heart.
Yeah, it's super fascinating. When did you guys get kind of like fall into this fascination of biohacking? When did that start for each of you?
One day, Neil and me was in a train going from Barcelona to Mataró, and talking, we think about NFTs. And first, Neil say, I want to be an NFT of my perception of color. And bueno, crec que vam anar parlant d'això i al final va ser...
Well, and then we kept talking. But yeah, my introduction to biohacking, or I see it more as neural hacking, because my aim is not to hack my body, but to hack my mind by creating new senses. Starts in 2003 when I was studying music, and I was interested in using technology in a different way. And then I thought it would be interesting to create a type of technology that would alter my perception of reality. So since 2004, I've been hearing colors. Afterwards, I created another implant in my knee that allows me to sense the magnetic north. And now I'm also creating another organ that will allow me to sense the passage of time. A point of heat, it takes 24 hours to go around the body. So it's
Wow.
the fascination of opening up our senses with technology and exploring new forms of art.
Where do you find the doctors to kind of do these procedures? I feel like these are very, very unique things to conduct on the body. And I remember seeing one of your interviews at Google, and basically a lot of doctors actually rejected you from the start, right? They didn't want to conduct these types of operations. Where do you find these individuals, and how do you kind of convince them to go forward with something like this?
It's the other way around. They read, some doctors read articles about this movement and they get in touch with me, interested in helping or collaborating. And then we have now a network of doctors and nurses and biohackers that are interested in helping us create this type of surgeries, because most of them are still not accepted by bioethical committees. So we need to do these procedures a bit underground for now.
Yeah, Pol, I remember I read in the article that talked about your NFT drop that you were messing with an EKG sensor, right? And you were still experimenting whether or not to install it permanently in your body. Have you actually gone forward with that? Have you done the surgery?
Kasi ya to implanted.
No, implanted not yet, but we are still developing my digital heart to be as small and practical as possible. To in the future,
You can show the.
Yes.
Now it's too big to have this implanted.
this is a first prototype.
So can you explain it to me a bit? So what am I looking at exactly? I see a few lights flashing. I see a few wires. Can you walk me through it?
This is created by me. It's a electrocardiogram with Arduino and etc. And I am
He's sending
leaving this wearable here, and my heartbeats.
Yeah, so this is detecting his heartbeats, and then it's sending his heartbeats via Bluetooth to the
Yes.
internet. So then you can see his heartbeats wherever. If you have the connection, the link, you can see his heartbeats live. So now it's quite a big system. It's his first prototype, but his next stage is now to make it smaller, and at some point it might be able to have it implanted here in this
Yes.
area, and that's his first prototype now.
Yeah.
Also,
Got it.
his next stage is also that he will be able to receive vibrations to his body, so that the person that owns the NFT will not only be able to see his heart rate, but also heartbeats, but also he will or she will be able to alter his heartbeats by sending vibrations to his body.
Got it.
More
And
interactive one.
got it. And Pol, do you have to charge that device? Is it run by batteries? How does it get its electricity and its power?
Yeah. It works with this battery, and that is
It can be charged.
it can be charged, and it's very big, as you see. But in the future, it will be more little and practical.
The aim is to use body energy, not external energy. But for now, this is the fastest way of creating this system. But it's, as you see, it's not very practical yet.
Sure. Can you share with me more about the story of you guys kind of discovering NFTs for the first time? What was that first instance of an NFT you came across? Was it a piece of art? Was it a piece of music? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, people kept emailing me asking why have you done any of this? Have you done? And I had no idea what it was, so I kept trying to understand what it was, and it took us quite a few days. We both started to understand the system, and then we wanted to find out how to make them ourselves, and then it was because people kept asking if I had any NFTs. That's how I suddenly became interested in NFTs, and then once we learned about it, we find it very, very relevant. It's an art that can live forever, so it's a very interesting area for us to explore.
Muy buena para poder innovar.
Also, to a good space where you can innovate, because it's such a new art movement that you can actually create new types of art forms within.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think when I came across your story of how you guys were basically, I know you don't like to call it biohacking, but basically whether it be messing with your mind, messing with your heart, right, and attaching a crypto primitive to it, that's like the first of its kind that I've come across, right? And did you guys have any fears or any concerns kind of going down that route with allowing that level of experimentation in the hands of someone else, even though you guys purchased each other's NFTs, right? But let's talk about scale for a minute, right? If you guys plan or when you guys plan to do that, and we can talk about that as well. Is there any fear, any concerns that come to mind when taking this and scaling it?
Yes, because we are basically selling access to our body and to our mind. So it is that's why we decided to buy it to each other first. But then we need to be very careful who will. Well, I mean, we can't do anything about it. But once I sell access to his heart and he sells access to my head, um, it will be anything can happen. The person that purchases this access can potentially annoy us a lot, basically, or alter my perception of color in a way that might alter my life. And also, if we finish this access to his body so that people can alter his heartbeat, so it can alter his life. But it's an art that has some risk, and we both like art that has a little bit of risk. There's many cultural things like sports that have risk, or very social activities that have risk, like climbing mountains. This is an art that has some risk, both because we don't know who will buy access to our bodies and how they will treat us, and secondly, because merging with technology also has a bit of an unknown risk.
Yeah, sure. Actually, let's backtrack for a minute, right? Because I don't think we got into the full story of what the NFTs were exactly. So can you quickly tell me like the story from A to Z on what you guys put out on OpenSea and into the cryptoverse, and both you and Pol, and how that kind of collaboration took place?
So I have an antenna implanted in my head. This antenna allows me to perceive the vibrations of color from infrared to ultraviolet, and the antenna has internet connection. So my NFT is basically access to my head via the internet. So the person that purchases this NFT can send colors to my head, which is with a mobile phone. You can use your camera, and then you can just stream live images directly into my head, so I can suddenly sense the colors from the mobile phone. So people can alter my perception of color by sending colors to my head. And then Paul sold an NFT where you can visualize and see his heartbeat real time. And the next stage is that the person will also be able to alter his perception, his heart rate, by sending vibrations to his heart. So he has sold his heartbeat in a way, and then I've sold my perception of color.
Crazy. Absolutely, like absolutely crazy. That's so cool. That is such a cool use case to attach to a non-fungible token. And I know it feels like an everyday thing for you guys, but from an outsider who's not really in tune and ingrained with your level of experimentation, your level of art, right? That risk art that you talked about, I see NFTs as either music pieces, as either digital art or video pieces, and you guys are really introducing like a new level, a new layer into the cryptoverse that you don't really see. Do you guys ever think about that, or has it just become so ingrained in your process that you don't really think twice about it?
Yeah, we just thought it was the best way of merging our current art form, because if we were musicians or if we were painters, I guess we would have done something. But if our art is our body, if we want to create NFTs related to our art form, it had to be an NFT connected to an organism, because we see the cyborg art. Cyborg art is not only cybernetic, it needs an organism. So the NFT had to be connected to a living organism, which is us. Now the thing is, what will happen when we die? Because the NFT will still be alive, but we won't. So that's also something that we had to think about. And when you purchase the NFT, this is also stated what happens because at some point our organisms will die, and then but the NFT will still be alive. So potentially you will still be able to send colors to my head once I'm dead, and you will still be able to send vibrations to his body once he's dead. So
Yeah. That's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting experiment, and how that kind
well,
of plays
I guess
out.
our cybernetic organs can continue being alive once the rest of our body dies. But there's different ways we can solve this problem. That the NFT will still be able to work properly.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Adam Levy here. Sorry for the quick pause, but I want to give some love to our 5 NFT sponsors who are making this episode happen. They are Coinvise, POAP, Cello, Social Stack, and PrimeDAO. First off, on Coinvise, you can create a personal or community-owned social token on Ethereum. Coinvise also helps you create incentives through token rewards and bounties, NFT business models, and bot integrations for Discord. Discover more by visiting coinvise.co today. Next up, we have POAP, or short for Proof of Attendance Protocol, who enables a novel way of creating one's life diary. Leveraging NFT technology, POAP facilitates an easy way to mint non-fungible tokens related to meaningful events. It's frequently used in crypto-native communities, and now it's starting to create NFT collectors in the mainstream too. Collect or launch your own POAP today by visiting poap.xyz. Next up, we have Social Stack, a platform for communities, brands, and creators to build mission-driven social token economies. Offering an easy-to-use, non-custodial wallet with a suite of open-source community engagement tools, Social Stack makes it simple to bring your community into Web3 and be a part of creating an open-source, gratitude-driven future for social tokens. Create a free social token wallet, discover mission-driven social token communities, or apply to launch your own token on Social Stack by visiting socialstack.co today. Next up, we have Cello. Are you looking for an ecosystem of dApps, currencies, and tokens that can connect you with people no matter their device, carrier, or country? Well, say hello to Cello, a mobile-first platform that makes crypto dApps and payments accessible to anyone with a mobile phone. Cello supports thousands of projects from builders, developers, and artists who every day build applications and issue tokens from all over the world. Visit celo.org today to learn more. And last but not least, we have PrimeDAO, a collective of DeFi builders and DAO veterans attempting to turn DeFi into a more cooperative ecosystem by creating DAO-to-DAO interactions. The first solution to go live is Prime Launch, a launchpad experience for DAOs built in collaboration with Balancer. If you plan on launching a DAO, head over to prime.xyz to access a network of partners and tools that will jumpstart your DAO development today. All right, back to the episode.
So I understand the concept. I understand what the NFT is, but how would I actually, okay, let's say I purchase this NFT. How do I go by changing the color that you actually hear, right? It's not necessarily see, it's the vibrations that and the frequencies, right, that go to your inner ear, right? That's how it works from how I understand it, right?
Yeah.
So how do I actually go by doing that? What is that process? Take me through that flow. So I purchase this NFT. What's next?
You have a link that allows you to use a camera or from your phone to send colors to my head. So it's a unique link that allows you to connect to my connection in the back of my head.
Got
And
it.
then with a mobile phone, it's an app that allows you will see and hear the colors that you're sending to me. It's the vibration of the actual color.
Got it.
It's something that I already used before. There was 5 people that had permission to send colors to my head with their mobile phones, but now it will only be one person, and
Got it.
it's been done through an NFT as well.
And the same process is for Pol as well if I want to change his heartbeat?
Yes,
Okay.
the link.
So there would be a similar link that I would go to and okay. But how
The instructions are there. The instructions are there.
got you. But how do you actually, and I guess this one's more for Pol, how do you actually alter your heartbeat? How do you do that? Like does the NFT holder need to do an action that will then increase it? Do they send heat waves that spike up your temperature, or like how does that work?
Who have the access to my NFT can send me a vibration in a part of my body, for example here, and when I receive the vibration, I'll say algo inesperado.
As it is, it's something unexpected.
Exactly. It's unexpected, so this altered my heartbeat. And the owner of my NFT can visualize my heart accelerating.
Basically, if someone, yeah, I don't know if it's clear. If you send unexpected, if you receive an unexpected vibration in your body, even if it's a small vibration, if it's unexpected, you will be able to alter his heart rate.
Got it. Let's play more in this scenario where now it's in the hands of the open public and someone random purchased it. You guys are sleeping, right? And they start increasing your heartbeat, and some person starts changing the colors that you hear and you feel, right? Does that worry you at all? Like one day you're gonna wake up like at 3 a.m, let's say it were to happen. Let's just say, okay? And your heartbeat starts accelerating and you start hearing all these frequencies and all these vibrations. Does that concern you at all?
A little bit, but but I mean, in my case, the person might be able to wake me up or annoy me while I'm sleeping, or this person might be able to color my dreams. If these colors interact with my dreams, this person might be coloring or altering my dreams by sending specific colors. The same way that if he's sleeping and someone alters his heartbeat, it might wake him up or it might alter his dreams. So I think as long as we see it as an art performance, then and we keep track of how we are experiencing this interaction with the stranger or the owner that is interacting with our bodies, I think we will like it. I mean, we won't be. I mean, and if it's a bad experience, it will still be an interesting experience.
So cool. So cool how you guys are ballsy and dairy like that. Because to the average person, that sounds like a nightmare. But you guys actually welcome that level of experimentation, that level of risk taking. And with high risk comes high rewards and great stories. So I really applaud you. I'd be curious to follow up later when you guys do decide to scale it and you do decide to put it in the hands of the public and kind of retract and hear what those stories that you probably didn't really estimate or expect kind of occur. Let's talk about more. I know you guys are very vocal on Cyborg Rights, right? It's something that you're very vocal on, and you talk to a lot of governments about, and recognition from the materials that are in your head to how you should be treated and how you should be classified, et cetera, right? What is the current state of cyborg rights? What does that look like right now?
Well, the basic right would be the freedom to decide which body we want to have as a species, which is a right that we still don't have. If you want to have an antenna implanted in your head, for example, you will find it very challenging to find a way of doing it legally or in a clinic. Even if you want to pay, it will be difficult to do it in a way that it's legal right now. So that's the first right. We think we should all be allowed to decide which organs and which senses we want to have as a species. So that's the basic right. There are still no countries accepting these type of experimental surgeries. Most bioethical committees will not find it ethical if you go beyond visual perception, or if you go beyond human perception, or if you add new body parts. So that's one of the challenges, to find a country that will at some point accept adding new organs and new senses. And then also accepting that these implants are parts of ourselves, not property, but organs. This is also another challenge. So if someone pulls the antenna, it shouldn't be treated as damage to property, but physical aggression. That's something that
Mm-hmm.
is still not accepted in any legal, not legally. I mean, it would be challenging to see this. So it's slow process, but I think we will see changes in the near future. Now we have laws regarding humans, laws regarding technology, and we will soon find laws regarding humans that are technology.
Sure. Pol, do you feel the same way, Pol? Do you feel differently?
Mm, mm, yes, but I am, ya no me identifico tan como así. Era como ya-
He doesn't identify so much as a cyborg.
Yes, because already I'm not my organ implanted, so at the moment I'm not feeling like a cyborg.
Got it.
But I am doing cyborg art. This is true. Yeah.
Well, he's I don't know how to say. He's just creating. He's a cyborg artist, but his
Yeah.
sense of identity is still, he still doesn't identify
Hmm.
as a cyborg.
Got
Which
it.
is, identifying as a cyborg doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have an implant. It's just, if you include technology as part of your identity, I think you are already a cyborg. Many people have implants and don't identify these implants as part of them, and that's why they don't identify as cyborgs. And many people don't have implants, but they identify technology as part of their identity. So, and they identify as cyborgs. So it's a bit.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Makes sense. Do you guys see NFTs kind of improving the future rights of cyborgs somehow?
Probably, yes. I mean, in NFTs can be used for legal documents and legal things, and once this is normalized, I think we will see, yes, a way of using NFTs also to help cyborg rights in a way. Yes.
Yeah, because right now the way I guess they're being used right now is through art, through fashion, digital real estate, music. Um, like I said, you guys are the first instance that at least I've came across where there's some bio element to it, and sooner or later the legality in transferring ownership through NFTs for larger assets, and I could see it bridging into human rights, cyborg rights, and whatnot. And so I guess like what's in store for you guys in the future when it comes to integrating your way of life and how you guys identify as with this new form of technology? What do you guys have in store? Share with me some alpha leaks. What can we expect in the future?
Well, the fact that the NFTs never really die, because once they're in the blockchain, they're very indestructible. If we enter the blockchain, we ourselves enter the blockchain, then which in part we've started to do by, in my case, my sense of color is in the blockchain now. In a part, in some way, my color perception won't ever die. If his heartbeats are in the blockchain, part of his heartbeats will never die. So in a way, we're trying to find ways of entering the blockchain, not only this example, but maybe more parts of ourselves can enter the blockchain, and how to connect the blockchain with our bodies once our bodies die. This is something that we're thinking about right now.
Yeah, yeah. How would you go and price these, I guess, interactions? Because again, I know you guys went ahead and purchased each other's NFTs just for the test run, but do you have like a dollar amount in your head? What does that look like?
No idea. We use the smallest possible amount. I think 0.0001 Ethereum. We bought each other's, and after that, it's really no idea how to.
I feel like if you're gonna let someone take over your state of mind, right, or your state of your heart, that comes at a big price tag, especially if they're able to alter that your perception of reality and your heart speed at any given time, right? That's a premium type of feature, right? Do you think $100,000 for an NFT of that sort is too much? Do you think it's too little? I know you said you don't really know, but let's tinker with it. Let me test your mind for a bit. $1 million? Too much?
Really, I don't know.
It's we would sell it for 100,000 for sure. No, tú vendrías para hacerlo, no? No. I mean, 100,000 is a lot. I mean,
Paul's like, no, at least 10 million.
100,000 is a lot. I think I would for 100,000. Yes. You wouldn't?
I think
You do more or less?
more.
More. Okay. 200,000.
I don't think if you had an offer now of 100,000,
I don't know.
I would. That's a lot. This is you can buy a house here in Barcelona.
Yes.
Yeah, but yes, it makes you think. I like this. We've put ourselves in a situation that makes us think. That's why we enjoy it so much, because it makes you think of, and also where does the level of trust as well. We need to trust each other now, because I have his heart, he has my head. So at least we trust each other. But from the moment we have to trust strangers, we have to trust that they will be good to us. They won't be annoying us a lot. But that's part of the. It's
Yeah. Here, wow, I really stumped you with this.
I have no words to talk about. I have no words of describing this, especially when we talk to our parents. It's really difficult to your parents don't understand what you're
understand very well.
what's happening. But
What was their reactions when you guys, well, Neil, for you transitioning into a cyborg and Pol kind of tinkering and experimenting with your heartbeat? What were the reactions?
Two reactions, or they understand or they are not understanding. My friends, they understand what is an NFT and what is that I am doing. But my parents, that the previous meses,
after 2 months,
they understand and they like it.
They like it. They're like, okay, this is cool.
Yes, they like it.
Wow.
Mm.
Interesting. And you, Neil?
My parents, I don't think they understand the NFT thing yet. But the antenna, this was in 2004, and my mother was a bit scared because in 2004 there were lots of news about the dangers of mobile phone antennas, and that was when I said to my mother, I will have an antenna implanted in my head. She said this was not a very good idea. But now they're completely used to it. We never talk about the antenna. It's just a part of my body for over 17 years, so it's completely normal. But that at the beginning, my mother especially didn't like it.
Crazy, crazy. Are you open to talking about, because I know it takes a specific unique surgeon to do this type of surgery. Are you open to sharing how much it costs to do something like that? Are you public about that?
The surgery was free. The
Was
surgeon,
free
he did it for free. Yes.
for free.
Yeah.
Just to be, but he also stayed anonymous too, right?
Yes.
So
The surgery
free and anonymous.
I paid for the materials,
Okay.
the renting the space, renting the. So it in total, it's less than like around 7,000 or 6,000, counting all the material because it had to be done very small. The biocompatible material, the the machine to drill the head, renting the space was around everything 7,000. But that doesn't mean that this costs 7,000. It could cost much less. I mean, the yes, all the new organs and new senses can be done in very variety of prices because it depends on the material you use, how big, where you have it done, if the space you rent is more expensive, less expensive. So it's
Yeah.
difficult to say how much. It's not like a mobile phone that it costs. So it's difficult.
Yeah. Is that $7,000? What currency?
Euros.
Euro, 7,000 euros. Okay, got it. Yeah, super, super cool. Yeah, guys, I'm excited to see your journey in the NFT space and what you guys come up with. And before I kind of let you go and we conclude the interview, quickly tell me where we can find you guys and kind of stay tuned with what's next.
Instagram. We both are in Instagram. Like mine is Neil Harbisson and his is Lombarte and a hash.
Yes.
Hash. That's why we are constantly posting stories.
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much. And I hope to have you again soon.